Right, let me just turn that echo off. And here we are. Welcome to Wavecast episode 11. 1-1. There's going to be zero technical issues with this Wavecast as well, because I've mastered the technology now. I'm a master of this technology. And when you become a master of something, you make no mistakes. So I'm beyond mistakes. I've excelled beyond mistakes. Mistakes are impossible from this point onwards. So, but just in case there are gremlins, can you hear me okay? Can you see me okay? Come in the chat. I'm watching my phone like a hawk for Martin to tell me there's no audio. There's no audio. Can you hear me? Can you see me? There's a beautiful view behind me. If I move, it's going to focus on the sunset behind me. Everything's perfect. Of course it's perfect. Yeah, is it going to focus on the sunset? It might do. But yeah, let's keep it focused on me. Of course, everything's perfect. Nothing's going to go wrong. I'm a professional, and this is a professional live stream. So everything's going to be perfect. So, all right. So there is a road right here. So we've got a beautiful view, but the sacrifice is it's 6 o'clock, and there's traffic going by next to me, which is a bit annoying, but these are the trade-offs we make. So you guys know the deal. I want to see an emoji, which yeah, Martin says, excuse me, no driving while the Wavecast is on, please. Well, Martin, if you were here as my producer, you should be in the road like a lollipop man. I don't know if you have those in the US or Canada. A lollipop man is someone wears this kind of like fluorescent outfit, and they have a sign saying stop, and they walk onto the road with the sign so the kids can cross the road during school hours. But we should have like a wave counter. You can be the wave counter man and just have lollipops for some creepy weird reason, and you can stand in the road right here and bloody stop the traffic. And when they say what's going on, you say that you know fucking Wavecast going on. Like, oh god, I'm so sorry. And then the police will be called, and they'll be stopping everyone. You know, stop, turn around, Wavecast. So you know the deal. I want to see an emoji. I want to see at least 5 emojis, and this emoji has to reflect how your the current state of your psychological and emotional well-being. So the emoji you post will reflect the current state of your psychological and emotional and spiritual well-being. It's actually quite windy as well. I just caught the light from falling over. By the way, it looks like I'm sunburnt, right? And the reason why it looks like I'm sunburnt is because I am sunburnt. This is sunburn. But I can't complain about sunburn in December if you're from England. So, but I swear it's not this bad. It looks worse. I'm not this bad. I swear to God. It must be the white balance filter settings on the camera. I swear I'm not this sunburnt. But I am sunburnt. So, you know, that's one of the... I look like a fucking tomato in the video, but it's not that bad. Like, it doesn't hurt. But I am a little bit sunburnt. All right, so we've got Jeffrey, feels like a race car. Jan's got money. Is that Jan? Is that a dude or a girl? Jan could be Janice, could be... What's the guy's name for Jan? Sounds like a girl. Guy or girl, money on the mind. Tony's happy. Charlie is feeling constipated, I think. Shaman's feeling like an alien. Out of this world. Shirley's happy. All right, well, I've got my 5 emojis. Have you guys got any questions? Jan's a dude. Cool. Welcome to the world of men. So, do you guys have any questions about like the course, about wave counting, about Andrew's median lines? Have you got, do you remember last time I said, if you've got any charts you want to show me, right? Any trades that you've done that went wrong or right that you've saved and you want me to look at them? You want me to give you some feedback, some criticism, some analysis? Like now's your chance, man. Like these wavecasts are for you guys. If you've got any charts you want to show me, like let's see them. I know, Charlie, you wanted to show me something last week, but we didn't get around to it. So this applies to everyone. If you've got any charts you want to show me, come on, let's do it, man. Let's go toe to toe. Charlie says, Andy, I have a question. In my case, I tend to perform my analysis in the 1 to 4 hour time frames, but I see you put the post you made of Bitcoin was made in 20-minute time frame. Should I perform my analysis in this time frame in order to validate my whole wave count in higher time frames? I think the question is poorly formed, right? It doesn't matter if it's 50 minutes or 20 minutes. It just, like, what time frames do you need to look at in order to validate your wave count? And what does it mean to validate your wave count? If you've done, if you're in the daily or the 12-hour, I mean, you've said here, I do my, it's all this, everything you said is framed wrong. You said, I do my analysis in the 1 to 4 hour time frame. So the question back to you is, why? Why have you chosen those time frames? If you don't know the answer, it's like you're just choosing a random time frame. Forget about the time frames and think about what it is we're trying to do. We're trying to map with Elliott Wave principle. We're trying to map the crowd psychology of the market, right? What time frame do you use? All of the time frames. You use all of the time frames. So if I'm starting with a fresh chart and I want to see what's going on, what time frame am I going to use? The biggest time frame. I'll start with the daily. Usually, that's the biggest one, and then I'll do like a basic wave count. I mean, I can show you if one. If you guys want me to, I'll start. We'll just tell me which chart to use, and we'll start afresh. Whichever one you want, right? Just give me a trading pair. We'll jump in, and we'll start with the daily. And once we've done the daily, we then might go down into the 4 hour time frame. Let's say, once I've done the 4 hour, I'm going to then further try and confirm whether my wave count is correct by going down into the 1 hour. You get the idea. I'm going to keep on going down until I'm satisfied. I tend not to go lower than the 15 or 20 minute. You can always dip into the 5 minutes if there's something a bit troublesome and you want to sort of check something. But that's as low as I go. Charlie says I can think better in lower time frames. It's too much chaos for me, and it's hard for me to apply the concepts of the course. Oh, I can think better, comma, in lower time frames, it's too much chaos for me, and it's hard for me to apply the concepts of the course. How far along are you in the course, Charlie? And by the way, anyone else, if you want to pipe in on these thoughts, if you have any, oh shit, my light's falling over. Hang on, let me just rearrange this so it doesn't fall over. I mean, this is obviously going to help everyone. I mean, we can do it. I can walk through the entire process from start to finish. Charlie says, two months. No, but what module are you in? I don't mean how long have you been doing the course. What module are you in? How much of the course content have you got through, right? Because if you haven't got through to the complex corrections of the course, then obviously anytime you think there's chaos going on, it's most likely a double combo. It's like a complex correction. Module 17. So what module is? Well, yeah. Well, then you've gone through the look. So Charlie, look, and this applies to everyone. I think what's going to help you a lot more is if you have a specific question for me. What I mean, because you're talking in generalities, if that's even a word. You're saying when I go down to these lower time frames, I get confused or whatever. And I'm saying, show me exactly what you mean. Take a screenshot. So you've got your wave count. You've gone down into a lower time frame and you've got a screenshot to show me. And you say, this confuses me, Andy. This confuses me right here, this part here. Because now I can say, right, let's look at it. Now, what's confusing about it? Let's look at it. Okay, this is what you're confused by. Let's dig into it. I can actually work with you. But when you talk in generalities about generally when I go down in lower time frames, because look, Elliott Wave principle is fractal. In lower time frames, there's no difference than higher time frames. It's the same thing, as long as there's enough liquidity in the token. Obviously, if you run out of liquidity, the wave structure breaks down. But it's the same thing. It's fractal on higher time frames and lower time frames. So if you're getting confused with the wave counts on lower time frames, then your wave counts are probably wrong. But I need more specific questions. I need to just to show me a chart. Say, look, this is the chart. This doesn't confuse me. This looks good. This part confuses me. And then we've got something to discuss. So if there's not enough time for you to do this on this Wavecast, then there's the next Wavecast, and then you can always post it to the community, because there's all the other wave counters who can respond as well. It's not just me, right? Because I'm unable to give feedback to everyone inside the community, because I'm working on the course itself. So there's this time frame we've got together. But you've got to be proactive. You've got to be proactive with your learning. You can't just kind of allow yourself to get confused constantly all the time, and then come to me and say, I get confused all the time. I don't know what to tell you. I need a specific situation, a specific screenshot, and saying, this bit here confuses me. Now we have something to talk about. So other than that, I can't help you. I'm trying to help, but there's nothing to respond to. All right, Charlie says he's going to find us a screenshot. All right, cool. And okay, so I'm going to go into TradingView, and we can have a look at some stuff. But because the last time I did this, Martin says, anyone wanting to send Andy a chart to look at in TradingView in the top right corner, there's a camera icon. You click and get a link to post here. Yeah. So I'm going to go into TradingView and have a look at some charts. But the last time I did this, I forgot. I said, hey, you've got any charts to show me? And Charlie, I think, wanted to show me something, and I got carried away with the wave counts, and I forgot. So, so Martin, if you can, if you can WhatsApp me if Charlie comes back with something, if I forget to come back to the chat, then I think that'd be a good opportunity to have something to dig into. So let's, boom, there we are. All right, so this is fresh off me doing recordings for module 20. So let me see, what can I show you? Let's go. Well, we're talking about the 20 minutes. So this is from the wave count that I showed you this morning, and yeah, it's really cool. Price just went up into this energy point, and we've got this strong move down, and price has come up, and it's found resistance on the this median line, and it looks like this whole move is complete now. It looks like that, right? And that's why I've marked it. I've marked it this way, and we've got a mirrored sliding parallel. Price in the first launch up didn't hit this very strong median line, and I say strong because this core median line right here, this is a modified shift pitchfork. Price came down and pinged the lower parallel of this modified shift absolutely perfectly. Perfect ping. And then price has slowly been moving up towards the central median line here. And this time just here, it tried to reach it, didn't quite reach it. So I created the sliding parallel and then mirrored it on the other side of the sliding parallel. And that's where price pinged perfectly. So we've got a really nice mirrored sliding parallel there. And then price is just broken down past this market structure. And so I'm kind of thinking that we've got our ABC completed of this correction. And now we're going to be looking for price to come down quite nicely, but we'll see how that goes. What I wanted to show you guys today, because this is one particular wave count, but if we look in the macro, this is actually a slightly different wave count. I've got here I've got an ABC, and this 20-minute I've got here, this is the higher degree, that this is actually a B. So we've got an A, B, and then a C to come. And here I've got this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rather than an A, B, C. So the wave count I've got in my 20 minutes, this is a W, X, and a Y. And inside this Y, we've got an A, B, C. But that C would kind of prompt us to come down lower. And the problem is, the reason why I made this kind of alternative wave count, which is, I suppose, my primary that I'm going with, which is the A, B, C. And, this impulse, there's various ways you could do this as an impulse and also as a correction, but I've got here as an A, B, C. And the reason why I prefer this one is I'm not expecting Bitcoin in this one. I'm expecting a push down, but not to go down crazy amounts in this little push down here. And if we've got an A, B, and a C, we'd be expecting it to go down to this lower parallel here, which is what you find in a corrective channel, which is kind of what we'd kind of expect. And we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'd expect the push down to go down to around 14,300, 14,300, something like that. But the thing is, you can see here I've got an A. And by the way, I know there's loads of lines go up at the moment, and that's because I was using this as a demonstration of diamonds, market geometry, all and energy points and stuff in the in module 20. But these are all valid lines that represent geometry that price is responding to. And I know, but this is the macro. So when we zoom right in, you don't see all those, all of those lines. You just see. Like this is the purple median line and lower parallel right here, and that's what you see. Just these two lines here. But this is the area that I'm looking towards now, right? That's the area I'm looking towards. So 14,000 to 14,300, 400, something like that. But here's the issue, right? As price continues, like this is the A wave in this wave count, and we're looking for a B wave correction. But look how extended this B wave correction is. Because you remember, a correction is a correction of an impulse. It's a correction of the wave that preceded it. And look at that beautiful sunset. Gorgeous. This correction's really going on for a long time, right? Now, this would be a flat correction, because this is the beginning of the correction, and prices obviously exceeded past the beginning of the correction. But if we if I get some space here, and we've got move down, and this is the A wave, you're expecting the B wave to kind of of a running flat or a expanding flat. But a running flat, you're expecting kind of this kind of shape. But we've got this kind of shape here where it's just kind of going on for ages. It's like this, it's not typical with this like really extended B. You see what I mean? This if I take all these lines off, if that's the A, we've got this B which is drifting off sideways. Now that could be the case, right? But there's another possibility that I'm starting to think could be what we're looking at. Let me show you what that is. I was hinting at it today, and Janus came up with it. You hear Janus? I think you're here, right? Scrolling up to see if I can see Janus. He hasn't written anything. Let's see the participants. No, it doesn't look like Janus is here. Okay, well he knew, he guessed what I was, what kind of idea I was proposing. So what I'm going to do, look, I know, don't judge me for my object tree. My object tree is a mess. I'm going to drag these over to my energy point folder. Let's just take those away. And I'm going to slowly hide all of these, just to clear it all up. Let's hide. Let's keep those on. Actually, let's keep those on. Let's get rid of all of the other pitchforks. Let's get rid of that. Where are we? Let's move that up. What else? I think that's it. Okay, so here is what I'm considering. I'm considering that the fourth wave did actually end here, right? And we've got just a WXY. right? So that means that all the degrees of these would have to change. The fourth wave completed. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means this is the fifth wave that's unfolding, but it's corrective. So hands up in the chat. In fact, not hands up. Tell me the answer. Some of you maybe already know this. If the fifth wave is corrective, what am I alluding to? What pattern? What shape? Am I considering that this fifth wave is forming? Let's go over to the chat and see if anyone comes up with it. Ding, ding, ding. Jeffrey gets 1,000 points. Well done, Jeffrey. Ending diagonal, my favorite pattern for an end of an impulse. We've got here an A and a B, and we've got here, I'm thinking like, before I was thinking this is an ABC. So are we seeing an ending diagonal develop? A, B, C, D. Are we seeing something, something like this? Are we seeing an ending diagonal form? This is what we're going to find out pretty soon, right? We're going to find this out. If this does complete down here, then we're going to find out if we get an impulse up here, then the prior wave count is correct. This is an A and a B. If we get an impulse of C that breaks out of any triangle, then the prior wave count is looking good, and then that wave C would then complete the wave 4, and then we'd be looking for a crushing move down, which would freak everyone out. However, if we get a corrective move up that completes, we'll see what kind of shape it can, it can kind of form, and it can kind of completes early and starts to turn around, then I'm going to start looking at this as my primary, and this will be fantastic if this happens, because then we'll be able to predict the end of the entire bear cycle, I think, quite well, and get ourselves into some, you'll be able to say, potentially, not trading advice, that you managed to get in, right at the bottom. But we'll see. It's we can't know this right now. It's kind of too early. I've got here A, B, C, but if we, you can see here, you see this this one here. This, let me see where that's from. I think that is looking at predicting. Yeah. Okay, so that one is a Fibonacci. Well, 100% isn't Fibonacci, but it's looking at the A, B, and for this C to be the same, like depth as this A, then this 100%, which is at 12,150, something like that, that would be wave C as 100% of wave A. So that's interesting. But if we're looking for a potential target for wave 5, then we're going to do the Fibonacci extension tool. So let's do that now. There's the Fibonacci extension tool. Right from the beginning, I've got to grab the top. Just try and grab it. There we go. Boom. Oh, sorry. What am I doing? Sorry, it's not up there. It is. Sorry, it's down here. Getting all confused. Wave 3, and if that is wave 4, then these are the targets we're looking for wave 5. For a regular wave 5 anyway, right? Now 61.8 would be down to this like 6,200. I don't personally think it's going to go that low. 0.5 would be below 10,000. I kind of don't feel that either. So I'll be looking at these two, right? They're between 13,500 and 12,200 or something. That's kind of the levels I'd be personally looking at, right? And so if we get an A and a B and a C and a D, although you wouldn't label it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see it's kind of in this. It's kind of in this area, man. You know. So that is kind of what I'm looking at. I'm not saying it's my primary just yet, but it's kind of interesting that this B is kind of stretching out for a while. You know. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm going to pop back to the chat now, see if I'm getting anything from anyone else. Shaman says we can also look at the cycle wave 2 retracement levels of cycle wave 1. Good point, Shaman. Let's have a look at that. I mean, it's been a super deep retracement anyway. In order to do that, oh, this is Bitstamp, so I might have to go over to the daily. Let me get rid of yeah, we don't need the what I call the correction schematics here. We can get rid of those. And I've kept that pitchfork up, but let's just get rid of that as well. Make it nice and tidy. Okay, so we're going to go right back to the beginning if we want to do that. See, this whole move, this whole thing is correcting Bitcoin's entire life, which is kind of cool that we're here while this is happening. And so, well, where do you want to do it from? It's like look, there's like $5, $4, $2. Okay, I'm going to start at $2.22. I think that's the lowest I can grab. $2.22. God, imagine buying Bitcoin at $2.22. Oh God, I lost it. Where is it? Bollocks. Shit. Okay. I lost it. All right, I'll grab it again. There it is. No, that's. I think that's it. Okay, let's just do a retrace. Right. Sweet, we got it. Okay, so okay, let's grab the entire thing. Boom, there we are. All right. Yeah, I mean, look, 88.6 is, I mean, that's way down there. So like, the next level would be the 14, you know, that's like if we're going to get something that adheres perfectly to Fibonacci, then we'd be looking at 14,700, right? Something like that, 14,700. And that's looking at Bitcoin, this as a entire correction of Bitcoin. There. Right, that's the cycle. So I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But if this ends up not being a triangle, because a triangle, you know, at 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you know, triangles can end early, right? So just a bit past this, maybe like to the sort of the 12,000, 11,000. You know, if we don't get this triangle, let's just change this to make it dashed. We don't get the triangle and we just get what we were saying before, right, with the A, B, and a C, then we might get, then this level might work out quite well. We might get a truncated fifth wave. You know, if this ends up being a running flat, A, B, and a C, you know, over here or something, which is kind of what I think you might expect. Could get an expanding, you know, an expanding flat as well. Especially if you get an expanding flat and the fourth wave comes right up to here, let's say, then the fifth wave, you could get a failed fifth that could end up, you know, right on this level. Could we get a failed fifth at the 20,000? I mean, it's all possible, right? So it kind of depends. The triangle will take us down past this Fibonacci level, down to like the 12,000s, something like that, right? And if we get the correction that is the you know, the existing stroke prior wave count, then we'd get a nice you know, a strong push up, an impulsive up. Everyone will be saying that the Bitcoin, the bottom's in, right? And then we get one more brutal push down, and which would probably result in like a spike where people just lose their minds. It spikes down to 12,000, and that, you know, and the diamond hands will prevail, and that's where you're going to want to, not trading advice, but that's where you want to be definitely have your buy orders in. So yeah, good shout, Shaman. Let's go back to the chat. Shaman says, could we be seeing a 1-2-1-2 setup moving downwards for the final fifth wave? 1-2-1-2, final fifth wave. 1-2-1-2, final fifth wave. Oh, you're saying so not an ending diagonal. So you're saying like 1-2 and then a 1-2 of the 3. I mean, is it possible? Because that could be an impulse, and obviously this could, you know, that's definitely an impulse. The trouble with that, Shaman, let me show you. Now, this is me kind of, you know, telling you why I don't see this as this would be brutal, right? If we look at this as a if we do an extension, right? The what is it? The wave one, the prophecy extension, right? It doesn't matter what color. I'll do it in the white one, right? This means that I mean, that couldn't be. I mean, look, that could be a very tiny wave 3, right? Or it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5 is going to give us this level here. Let's do a base channel. Or you know, the modified shift, which is the same thing as a base channel. Well, I mean, I think I've already got this anyway. I think I've got this as a mod. Have I got this already? Modified shift. Yeah, so I've already got the. I don't need to redraw that. So I've got this as an ABC corrective channel. But if this is a wave 1 and a wave 2, then this is our base channel. And then look, you know, wave 3 is not going to come outside the base channel, which, you know, can that happen? Sure, but you know, it wouldn't be something that you would expect from a wave 3. So if this was wave 3, if this was wave 1 of wave 3, well then let's look at where, because this would just come. It would be horrible for Bitcoin, because that means that, okay, let's do what is it? Prophecy extension on this subwave. That means the wave 3 of this would come to at least here, which means the 5th wave would come down to here. So that means the 3rd wave of this would be down into like 9,000. And then the final 5th wave would take us down to like 6,000, 5,000 or something. Could that happen? Yeah, it could. It's a possibility, you know, and that would be brutal, absolutely brutal for Bitcoin. So this purple modified shift, we can sort of keep that in the back of our minds. This modified shift could also be the base channel for a much deeper unfolding wave 5. Yeah, and that's something for us to keep an eye on. And this is how you have the you know, the alternatives, you know, and this is something we need to keep an eye on. If this is indeed the base channel for a deeper wave 5, then we would not expect price to break up above this this lower parallel, right? And this is how we would discern which wave counts are the strongest. So the current wave count predicts a move down, and then we've got an impulsive move that will take us way. It will just completely destroy the idea that this is a base channel. It will break out way above here and take us up to, well, if it's a running flat, it will take us to, you know, somewhere around here, and that would eliminate this possibility. If we get if price breaks down, you know, in a corrective form over here, well, then there's two possibilities. Either then this triangle formation is at play, or this is indeed still the base channel of a coming move. And the way that we would see that invalidated is we get a move in a corrective fashion that finds resistance, A, B, C, D, E, that finds resistance, you know, doesn't go below this lower parallel, right? Whereas if we are expecting this to be a because this lower parallel also marks, if you look at it, this also marks the floor of the potential ending diagonal triangle. So if price breaks down below this, then it's doomsday potential for doomsday for your average Bitcoiner kind of thing, right? Because then if that means, well, that's a wave 3, you know, of this wave 5, and then we're going to get one more brutal move down to like 6,000 or you know, and that's when everyone's like, oh my god, Bitcoin's ending, and that would get a brutal strong move. And if you're looking to get into Bitcoin long, then you want that to be the case, because if that is the case, you can get in at some, you know, wholesale prices, you know. So that's yeah, good call, Shaman. Cheers for bringing that up. So we've got 17 minutes left, and I'm going to go through some of your links now, Charlie. Marcus says, what's the total trading view indicator name for bull flow? What's the total trading view indicator name for bull flow? I don't know what you mean by bull flow. What do you mean, Marcus? What's the total trading view indicator name for bull flow? Yeah, I don't know what you mean, Marcus. I don't know what bull flow is, so I can't really help you there. Charlie says, okay, here we go. This is the BNB chart for the 1 hour. I can see an ending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulsive move. When I come to the 15-minute time frame, I see what it looks like, a whole ABC movement. Okay, let's go into the 1 hour. So I've got to change my my screen share. So okay. So give me a second while I just change this to the Brave browser. All right. So yeah. So trading view. Okay. So we can see Brave now. My browser. Okay. Let's see what we're looking at. I don't know what the Y is. I don't know what this Y is. So look, whenever you're showing me a wave count, you need to start from the macro. You've got to say, okay, here's my wave count on the daily, so we can see the entire thing. Okay, now because I don't know the context of this, because you've got here as a B wave, but B waves are corrective. B waves are corrective. This is an impulse move, so already this makes no sense. You know, I don't know where this Y ends or where this begins. If this is the end of a Y, what's this wave here? What's this down here? What's this? If this is a B wave, if this is the end part of a B wave, let's say an A, B, and this is a C, you need to label that. A B wave is corrective. This is impulsive, so that's wrong to begin with. Let me see what else you've got. Oh God, sorry. You guys are seeing what I'm seeing now. That's chat inception. Okay, let me just, sorry. This is the first time I've had to, okay, let me just fix this. Okay. So I've got to do a new browse display window capture. Brave browser. Brave browser. There we go. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. We'll just fix this. Get rid of that. Move that up here. I can save this for next time as well, so I can easily switch between. There we go. Okay, and now I can switch between TradingView and the browser. Okay, so go back to that, and then I can go into the chat to see what you're saying. Okay, Marcus, I'll come back to you in a second. So Charlie showed me the daily. Okay. So let's go into the daily now. Okay. So the B wave, okay, so you've got W, X, Y, and that's an A wave. So A, B, C. Okay, so why is the A wave corrective? An A wave is impulsive. The only time an A wave is corrective, like a WXY, is if the A wave is part of a flat correction. But the B wave would have to come down to the beginning of the A wave for this to be at least the beginning of the A wave, for this to be a flat correction. So like, look, whenever you're doing a wave count and you get confused, take a step back, because there's a chance that you're getting confused because you haven't done the wave count correctly. So this, you know, if this is corrective, W, X, Y, then this can't be an A wave. This has to be an X wave of a higher degree, right? And also you've done your fractal, the degrees are wrong. The degrees are wrong, right? If this is, I don't know, let's say this is intermediate and this is primary, well, then this would have to be cycle, which is this is not cycle, for example. So the degrees are wrong. So check your degrees. So WX, Y, then this would be an X. You wouldn't, because you've got a correction, and a correction, and then a higher degree. That's a double combo, double correction. So that would be an X, not an A. And then that means this would be a Y, not a B. And if this is a B, you've got a B, and you're expecting a C, okay, but the degrees are wrong. You can see that the brackets, this is the same degree. This should be, the ABC should be a degree lower than this B wave. But because this is a correction. Oh, Martin says you can't see my mouse on the screen. Oh, that's annoying. Huh. That's weird that you can't see my. Okay, I know how to fix it. Actually, I know how to fix it. Sorry, guys. We're learning as we go. So if I change that to, okay, let's get rid of that, and let's add a display capture rather than a browser capture, and that should. Now this is going to be a bit annoying initially. This is going to be a bit of a psychedelic head fuck, but in order for you to see my mouse, this is the way we've got to do it. Okay, let's make that below. Okay, so now when I go to the browser, you should see my mouse, right? So sorry about that if you guys couldn't see. So yeah, we've got a W, X, and a Y. So this would be an X, but an X, the degree isn't correct. This would be different. This would not, for this to be the degree above this with a circle. This would be sort of naked in the sense like the 1, 2, 3, 4 are in the white. That's what this would look like. So make sure always make sure your degrees are correct. And then you've got a B, but this would be an X, and you've got an A and a B and a C. But you can see this is the same degree. This should be a degree higher, or this should be a degree lower. And then we'd be expecting a Y, not a C, because this is corrective. If this correction here, this is corrective, that means we'd be expecting a correction up. Okay. But even so, the daily, we've got, I don't know even where this fits in the context of the grander scheme of things, like, you know, what is this Binance coin? Yeah, so I know that obviously this has been a huge correction. And so this probably is a correction, and we're expecting another move down like Bitcoin is. So W, X, Y. And then you've got here as an impulse A, WX, Y. I'm not sure what this WXY is doing. WXY, what? Because look, here's the A, and if this is the B, then because okay, so this is where you're getting your degrees all mixed up, because this WXY, which is meant to be the B, is the same degree. You've labeled it as the same degree, so you've got to label it correctly, otherwise it's super confusing. But waves have to connect. You know, if a B is made up of a WXY, the Y finishes where the B begins, and you've got a WX, and the Y is sort of just dangling down here. So, like, doesn't make any sense. If this is a W, and you've labeled this as the X here, then the Y finishes here, right? And then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be, I mean, again, a Y is corrective, so so that doesn't make sense. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is impulsive. So it's kind of hard to give you feedback on the wave count when it's not labeled correctly. But given if this is an A and this is a B and you're expecting a C down, then okay, so given that, let's go into your, sorry guys, I know this is a head fuck right now, but let's go into the 1 hour again. Okay, and now you're expecting a C down. You're expecting a C down, and you've got an, you know, what you might say is like, and you haven't labeled this. So I can't see your thought process, but you've got maybe a 1, 2, and then a 3 with a bit of volume. And then is this a big sideways corrective 2, and you're expecting a strong move down? Like, is that what you're expecting? Like, where's your base channel? If you think that this is wave 1, or you know, if you think this is wave 1 and this is wave 2, well then, you know, you're expecting a strong wave 3 that's not turning up. But yeah, I see this doesn't make sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an impulse, and you've got to show me where that is in the B wave. If this is a C, then if this is a C, then this is an A, a B, and a C. That's like an expanding flat, I suppose, right? And yeah, and look, whenever you are expecting a C wave down, right, an impulse down, and you get what you think is wave 1, and you get a correction, and you just don't get a strong move down, then your wave count's not right, you know. And instead of maybe you know, an A and a B and a C, maybe this is corrective. Maybe you've got an A and a B and a C, and this is a W, and then you've got an X, or maybe an X unfolding, but you've got an X, and then you've got a Y rather than a 3. Let's go back to again. Apologies for the psychedelic patterns. Let's go down into. I think this is the 15-minute. Well, obviously this is going to be confusing for you because you don't know. You haven't stepped forward slowly, right? This is the hourly. You haven't gone in and done the wave count on the hourly, but see, when you get the wave count wrong on the higher time frame, that mistake is going to compound as you go deeper, right? So you've got to get the wave count like dialed in, you know, on the higher time frame. So, you know, this has to be dialed in. This has to be absolutely dialed in, and it's not right. Like the degrees aren't right. You can't have a WXY in the A wave position unless you're expecting a flat, and there's nothing so far to it to make you expect a flat right now. So that wouldn't be the thing that you'd be expecting. So if this is an X wave and this is you're expecting a Y wave, which is going to end down here, right? An X wave to end down here. Then I want to see this much more well thought out. And then look, when you're going in and checking your wave counts, you check one wave at a time, right? That's how you validate your wave count. You check one wave at a time and start off back here, right? Because before you get into like over here, seeing if this is all correct, go back and say, okay, I'm looking at an ABC. Go into the A wave. Does this make sense for an A wave, right? And you've got an A, B, C, D. Well, A, B, C, D, E. So that doesn't make sense either. That doesn't make sense because if this is the A wave, and I think you're looking at like what a leading diagonal, then it would start here, A, B, C, D, E. But it's not forming the leading diagonal shape. So that's probably wrong. And right here, I'm seeing I'm seeing a corrective pattern there, and you've got that as a C wave, which should be impulsive. So you need to go this is the first wave you need to go and check. Forget over here, because if this is not right, then it's just going to compound more and more into the future, and of course it's not going to make sense, right? So if I back up, and where are we? If I back up and go back to my wave count, right? Let's hide that for a second. So this is the daily, right? And you see these like wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. That wasn't just arbitrarily stuck on there. That would have been, okay, let's dig into this wave here. right? And that, I mean, it would take me too long to go into the 20 minutes, but it would like, let's zoom into this wave here and see if I can see that structure. And that might have led to me moving maybe wave one from here to here or something like that, you know? And then it's like, okay, can, you know, and then going into this wave here, going into these waves here, right? And that's how it slowly gets built out from that, checking these waves. I don't just plonk on the waves and then try and then do the wave count over here, because I haven't confirmed these waves. I haven't gone into each of these waves to see, can I see the structure? If I'm saying this is wave one, am I seeing an impulse? If I'm not, then I've got to rethink it. And this is something like this, you've got to build this up like step by step, level by level. And you know, it takes time to do it from scratch, especially if you're not experienced. But if you make a mistake back here, if I label this as a W instead of an A, or I get this wrong, it's going to compound and compound, and I'm going to get over here, and it's all wrong. I think I'm expecting something that just isn't the case. Hopefully that helps a little bit, Charlie. And we'll wrap up with Mark and Charlie. Like, when you go back and do your wave counts, post them in the community, and you know, we've got a bunch of great students who can give you your feedback. But you just got to make sure that whenever you're posting something, you're asking a very specific question. A specific question, guys, what do you think about this particular thing? I'm having issue here, you know, and then you can get some very, very specific feedback, like I've been able to do as to the best of my ability, right? Like the problem isn't what you think it is. You think the problem is your inability to see what's going on this lower time frame, and I'm saying no. I think the problem is your whole wave count is based on untested assumptions. Untested assumption built on untested assumption that you get to the point where you like, I don't know what's going on. And I'm saying, you see that first wave you did way back there, that's probably wrong. And then obviously then the whole wave count's not going to be correct. So hopefully that helps, Charlie. Marcus says, on your object tree, you've got a bull flow. I don't know what bull flow is. Object tree. Bull flow. Yeah, I don't know what you mean, Marcus. Bull flow. I've never heard of that term before. I don't know what you're talking about, Marcus. I don't know what bull flow means. Sorry, Marcus. On your object tree, you've got a bull flow. Yeah, I don't. Does anyone else know what Marcus means? I don't know, Marcus. Sorry, mate. Maybe you can look at the recording that I post. Take a screenshot, point to it, and then I can respond. But I don't know what you mean by bull flow. So yeah, we've been here an hour. Hopefully that has been helpful, guys. I don't know. You know, I never know how helpful these things are. I know there's a lot to learn with wave counting as we layer things on top of each other. We layer and you know, Andrew's median lines on top of edit wave. You know, there's a lot to learn, but it's worth it, because what you're learning is the ability. You're learning a superpower. This is a superpower. If you can, when you get this, like, I haven't seen anybody out there on YouTube layer the technical analysis methodologies like we're doing, right? This is powerful. This is so powerful. So stick with it, but you've got to be. Marcus says it marks your frequency. It marks your frequency. I still don't know what you're talking about. Like the frequency. Oh, I think I know what you might mean. Hang on, let me just check. Do you mean, if I scroll down? Oh, okay. Sorry, ball flow. Look, it's ball flow grid. That's this. That's my what I call the cymatic frequency. This is what I go through in module 20. This is what I've, and this isn't an indicator. This is manually drawn. This particular was drawn like line by line, you know, but you use pitchforks to help you create these. And I go through this in module 20, right? How to create these, it allows you to see the underlying geometry that shows up in predominantly within corrections Sorry, Marcus. I didn't because it's bull flow with a W that I've labeled, but it's just in my object tree, and it's just lines. Look, it's just lines that I've just drawn. It's not showing up now. There we go. It's just I've manually drawn these lines, but I show you how to do it in module 20. I call it correction cymatics. So we got there in the end, Marcus. Tony says these sessions are always super helpful. Cool. All right. Well, let's close this out with an emoji that shows me how you're feeling right now after this session, and I hope these are helpful. Right. This is why I'm doing them. I'm doing them for you guys. I want to help you get to grips with this. So yeah, let me see your emotional emojis right now, and then we can wrap this up, and I can go get something to eat. So let's see some emojis. I need at least 5 because there's 16 of you watching this, so I need at least 5. Let me just switch to the camera. So you've got me on camera there. Okay. So yeah, I need at least 5. Jan's happy. Nice. So Jan, right now you're the only happy person watching the Wavecast. It's just you. Everyone else is not happy. Tony's feeling like a nerd, which I think is a good thing, right? You're feeling intelligent. All good, Marcus. I need 5 emojis or I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here. Because the emojis also tell me that you're responding. Paul has lost his mind. Nice. 2 more. Shaman's feeling magical. I need 1 more and then we can wrap this baby up. There we go. Cheers, Carlos. All right, wicked. So for everyone who's watching this not live, you're watching the recording, however far in the future, then awesome. I hope this has been really helpful. That wraps up the Wavecast episode 11, and we'll be back next week with episode 12. So thanks, guys. Much appreciated. Thanks for being here. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.